What's up, guys? I was just literally yapping for like an hour, and I kind of just want to go over the demon wedge grind in this game because I haven't been talking about it. I talked about it a couple times, and I want to make a part two because I will say there are some things that aren't bad, and the general thing about it is it the big thing I have to say is there's a difference between something being a grind, right, and being a reasonable grind. And then there's a difference between something being completely irrational, weird, unoptimized, and just a weird grind. And there are things that make a grind good and rewarding and enjoyable. There are things that make a grind dog meat and pointless. And what am I doing? Okay. So there's some things I'll say. Like there's difference between a grind and a time. Okay. The biggest thing that I say that a grind is a grind is something that you do it, it's obtainable. It takes more time than it should, but you're doing it at the expense of time and money and stuff like that, however you want to say it. And so like a good example I'd say is like your characters, right? To level them up, they're a grind. They're not a time sick, they're not anything. They're just a grind. You go, you play the game, and when you're playing the game, right? Yeah, you might have to do exploration like 5 times to get your character to level 70, right? And then like 5 more times to get them to level 80. But that's just a grind. That's just to get the essential materials to ascend your character. It's not really that bad, honestly. It's like 5 minutes, right? That's a grind. Regardless, you have to grind to do it. It makes sense. It's logical. Okay, they have an ascension system in this game. You need to use it to get your character's limit broken, whatever. So it's fine, right? The same with you need gold to do stuff, you need carmine to do stuff, you need gold, carmine, and you need limo coins. Then you just do the bounties, right? And the bounties give you all that you need, and it's a grind because you always need this resource, and it's something you always need to do, and it's something you can get really decently efficiently. I'd say like you don't need to put any commission manuals into this, and you can get like 2 million coins in like an hour or two of doing it. And if you have a good team, it could be even crazier because you can do like one run in 6 minutes. So yeah, it's really solid. It's really solid because the biggest like bad part about this grind is just the 4 point capture, honestly. So now here we go into things, right? Demon wedges. Okay. Do I think all factors of the gold demon wedge grind are bad? No, I do not think they are. They are pretty solid. Okay. If you are grinding for duel, I'd say all of these are about a 5% drop rate. That to be honest is kind of calm. It's like 1 in 20. Sometimes you get like 3 in a row and you're like, "Oh my god, I'm so lucky." And that's happened to me earlier when I'm farming for this demon wedge. Like I don't mind farming for these. These are kind of calm. Like I already have 9. It's not even that bad. Um well, and I've only been farming for like 40 minutes and I already have 9. That's kind of crazy. So these I do not mind. Like they're RNG, they're rewarding. Sometimes it can take longer, sometimes it can be faster. And if they're RNG, it feels like a 5% drop rate. I use like the 2000s and it's been 1 in 20 for the wildfire one to get this one maxed out. So it is 1 in 20, I'd say for sure. Because I've consistently gotten it 1 in 20 out. I hated using gold manos for that. Now, this is not bad. I do not mind this. This is a grind. It's gonna take you a couple runs. And if you have the books, it makes it way faster. So it's calm. This one, right? The duels, all of these 5% ones, I don't really mind. Honestly, they're chill. They're calm, right? Even these rewards down here, I do not mind. Because the thing about these demon wedges are you farm these demon wedges, these griffins. After you farm these griffins and you get 50, right? Sure, it may be a time and you go around right here. Around. Right here, you click on this, click go, you click rewards, you click details. You have to go through this cycle. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 24, 25. So you have to do 25 runs to get one of everything, and then you have to redo it. So what? You're looking at about, what, 25 times 50? About 1,250 runs or something like that. I did the math right. So and that's not including commission manuals or boxy RNG, right? So I don't mind this because after you do this, you have every single one, and then you just need to do the bounty. Okay, you just need to do the bounty. It's calm. It's fine. Okay, it's a little grindy, but after you do this for like a week or whatever, you commit to it and you just like bang at it slowly. It's fine. Honestly, it's not bad. Okay. Now the problem that I do have is I have a problem with the Covenanters. These things suck. They're horrible. They're bad. They're poorly implemented in the first place because they should just not be element gated. One thing I will say, they should not be element gated. And the second thing is, right, you need some builds require you to have 4 to 5 of the same ones. Now we go over here, and just so I don't do the math wrong and I'm not stupid, but we'll go over this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8, 16, 17. Okay. So now we're gonna do 17 times 50 because you need 50 and you need to run this that many times, right? 850 runs. Okay. So you need to do 850 runs, right, to get one set of 50 for the Covenanters. Okay. And that's not bad. But then, right, after doing this, you're not going to have 1,000 commission manuals to then upgrade that. But in reality, you're not going to have 4,000 commission manuals to upgrade all of these. Because guess what? You also, once you get the Covenanters, right, you also need to use the secret letter commissions shop. Right. I don't really mind it for the wildfires because wildfires you get them. But for these, I do matter. I do hate. Like I don't mind it for these either because these are kind of like the Giga ones, and once you get them, you kind of don't need to worry about it. But these ones are interchangeable, irreplaceable, and they're super stupid. So after you do your 850 runs, right, for one, and let's say your build needs 4 of Scorch, now, right, you need to do 4 of Scorch 850 times 4, right? That's off the top of my head. 3,400. You need to do 3,400 runs to get your 4 Scorches. 4 Scorches. You need 3,400 runs. And then after you do that, you're not gonna have the secret letters to do it because you farm them all, but you don't get enough secret letters to do it. And so these costing 10 secret letters is bad too, because you only get like 3 if you're lucky, right? So the grind isn't like, oh, you're grinding this, and as you're grinding this, you're getting the other things you need in your grind to then progress your grind and make the rest of your grind easier. No, because now you're gonna have to farm all your commission letters while you are farming all of that. Now, granted, if you did 3,200 runs, you probably have like 3,200 commission manuals, so it wouldn't even matter in that exact scenario. But it'd be like you'd be stopping all other progression and all their side quests. And right now, to be honest, I feel horizontal progression and getting the 62 is probably the better thing to do. But I kind of want to invest in Pikachu right now, and Pikachu's really like. And here's another thing: if you're doing this with any active character, it is so much more painful. Like, imagine doing this grind, but instead of doing this with Pikachu like I'm doing right now, you're doing this with Lizbel. Bro, you have to actively kill all those mobs. Oh my gosh. And people are like Rebecca. Rebecca's kind of slow. Like Pikachu's OP. Pikachu is OP. At least for this content. I don't even have her fully built and she's OP. Like I can't wait till I have her fully built. So yeah, you have to get these secret letter commissions for these. Do I mind it for the Giga ones? No, because you only need one and you're done. Okay. But for these, right, these should just be a blueprint dungeon. They should be. Because there's no way these should be secret letter commissions because you have to farm like 8 of them to like complete your build. It's like super weird and stupid, and it's like why? And then we have all of these, and it's like half of these overlap, but then you're farming them for a different element. So imagine if you were farming your your this one right? And then you got your skill damage and attack one, and then you're also farming your anima one, and then the skill damage and attack one also worked. Like there'd be a little bit of overlap there, so your grind wouldn't be as like, frankly, it wouldn't be as stupid. Like, literally, it doesn't make any sense. So the fact that these don't overlap, you have to do 17 runs for what you want, right? And also you have to then do the commission manual. You have to do the secret letter clues. It makes no sense. It doesn't. And so I'm not big on like upgrading the Covenanters. I'll probably just get them gold just so I like my OCD is I like to upgrade them to gold. So that I can then put the track slot in because I don't like putting track slots and stuff that aren't gold. Because I feel like or I remember seeing when I changed something from purple to gold, the track module changed. So I don't want to mess that up. Um, and then I actually don't want to like miscalculate it. So it's like, do I do I feel like this stuff is bad? Like I said, I don't think the grind is bad. I don't think like most of the grind. I think the way the Covenanters are poorly implemented. So to go over this, and now you know what? Let me talk about some solutions because I was yapping about solutions, and I said there are plenty of ways you can fix this problem. Right? One problem is you could just throw more odds at it. Right? Okay, here you go. You do this, you get more odds. That logistically, the harder solution is okay, we don't make Covenanters all different fucking rarities, different fucking elements. Okay, that's the best solution. All your inspos are inspos, all your things are things. But I don't know how they would do that logistically with the way the game currently is. Um, but they really should look into doing that in the next couple of patches because it's definitely a grind that people will not like, and it's like a lot of people already dislike this game for the grind. And if the grind is the barrier to entry and you have to put in a time investment, a new player or a player that isn't interested in that is not going to like that. And the biggest thing about games and growth is sadly, as much as we hate to say it, new players and people that are disinterested in games are still some of the best players to get. Because when Big Titty Wench number 48 comes out, right, and she got some massive milkers, people are going to want to play that. But when they play that and then they have to do a million different things to then access that character's power level. And sure, there can be events to that, but those are just band aids. When you could fix the problem systemically and then make the game more enjoyable in the process. That's how I feel about it. But yeah, when that character comes, yeah, you can make an event. Oh, triple grind, whatever, right? But I don't think that's a great solution. And then it means that when a new player comes in and they're not in that time frame, you've already lost that player and you've already lost so many people to bugs and optimization. And the mobile experience in this game, I thought it was chill. It's so bad if you actually want to play the game and not just run around and do fish and catch Digimons. If you actually want to play the game, playing this game on mobile is like impossible. But maybe I'll do another video on that. So yeah. So what are some solutions, right? Like one, they can do events. Events are a band-aid fix, and maybe they should just do events that fix it until they can fix a systemic issue and they find a way to do it. Maybe there's just a permanent double drop rate on these for the time being, and then they figure out, okay, do we want to fix the Covenanters, or do we just want to give make all Covenanters accessible for each element, and then reduce the grind for it? Because that's another solution, right? They make they instead of changing all of these to be all element, because I don't know how they would do that logistically and how that would affect the game and your account progression and all the items in your account. So that could be annoying because people spent money. They spent money on commission manuals to get runs faster, and then imagine you spend money on a Covenanter's inspiration times 20, and then now it's times 10, and then now you don't have it because the wedge doesn't exist. It got merged with the other ones, and so I don't know how logistically that would work. Um, Next thing that you can do every time, like you just make inspo and all of these, but you make each one of them element tied. I think is a fine solution. Um, I mean, I think the solution of making them all like, yeah, oh yeah. So like another solution is instead of making everything accessible to every element, if they want to keep this Papega element system for these specific wedges, I don't mind the elements for the other wedges, but for these particular wedges, right? They give you access to was it like scorch on everything, right? And then you have to farm the fire scorch, you have to farm the anima scorch, you have to farm all. So it's still not horrible, but it's like that. But if you are to do that change, the next thing that I would say is that these rewards, if I am farming the light demon wedges, I should not be getting the character materials or the base weapon materials. I should not be getting those if I'm farming for the specific thing. If this right here is removed from the rotation, four, right? Right? Four and then 4 times 50, that's 200 runs. That is 200 runs for something you need multiple of. And if you're already farming the 5% drop chance, right? You're gonna get your all your scorches that you need while you get your whatchamacallits, while you get your max skill damage. And so sure, they may not line up perfectly, but they'll line up within a reasonable amount so that you could do that. And then after that, you can start farming secret letter commissions and focusing on that grind so that then you could build these because you still need the gold and the carmine for it, which is still a lot. It's like 10 runs of bounty or something, but it's still quite a bit. So that's still like an hour to get the gold and the carmine, and then you still need to do the runs on the secret letter commission, man. So it's still a lot. And it doesn't take out anything from the grind. It just takes out the major pain points of after I'm done grinding for this character, because I'm grinding the main skill damage, skill, whatever, the main set piece for the character, I will no longer have to do the Papega grind that is extra. And then I can focus on, okay, now that I want to upgrade these emojis, now I need to farm the secret letter commission manuals that I need. And so now you're not making your grind 18 different random things. You're making it one concise system that flows very chill and calm. And then it's something that you can take a break from, go to another part of the grind, and then come back to that part of the grind because okay, oh, I just got enough for my main one, my main skill damage one, and I instead of upgrading all these covenanters, now I could do gold, and carmine, and then after I do gold and carmine, now I can go back to the bounties, not the bounties, the secret letter clues, run my 100 secret letter clues. After I run those, now I have my thing fully maxed out, and now I'm chilling. Okay, and now saying these numbers to someone is completely ridiculous in the first place because that's insane. Okay, now you're doing 800. Now your total runs are like 850, right? Total, which is calm. Honestly, that's like an evening. Um, 850 total runs, and yeah, I think that's probably the best solution. Um, if they don't remove remove the element requirement on these, I think removing that would be nice too. But if they go the route to do that, I think literally the simplest band-aid you can do is just remove all the excess out of the different dungeon. That's that's the band-aid. That's the band-aid. It doesn't fix the inherent problem with these. And so you're literally not being able to build some characters because some things that you want for some characters are for different elements. It doesn't fix that issue for demon wedges. And the fact that some demon wedges are not properly done with their formula of when you upgrade a purple, the gold, when you fully upgrade the gold is about 2x the purple. Some demon wedges aren't like that. So that's for a different story. But yeah. These are my solutions for demon wedges. These are how I would fix the problem, how I would bandage the problem, how systemically the problem is wrong. And yeah, see you guys. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.